At the time I'm recording this video, the US election is less than a week away and the tension is through the roof. But how do we navigate the pre and post-election tension within our workplaces? Well, in this video, I'm going to share a couple things that we want to keep in mind and a couple things that we can do to try to navigate this with as much grace and ease as possible. Hi, I'm Chris Littlefield. I'm the founder of a company called Beyond Thank You, and I spent the better part of 20 years helping leaders and organizations have the conversations that matter most with their people so they can do the work that matters most. And actually, funny enough, my background is in international conflict resolution, where it was literally my job to design and facilitate programs that brought people who often saw each other's enemies, Israelis and Palestinians, Indians, Pakistanis, Greek and Turkish Cypriots, into the room together to have dialogues and discussions. Now, what are some of the things that we need to keep in mind? Now, I think one is to remember the importance of acknowledgement. Now, many organizations have policies. We don't talk politics in the workplace, but that doesn't mean those conversations aren't going on. So one thing that's really important is just to acknowledge that this is going on right now. And that may look as simple as, hey, I just want to acknowledge that the election's going on. And I know it's taking over my brain right now, and it's hard not to think about it. And I just want to acknowledge that our policy is that we don't talk politics in the workplace, and it's important to respect that, but I understand those conversations are going to happen. And if you do want to talk about politics in the workplace, just take those conversations, go out to lunch together, go out for a walk together, go into a conference room. And if you are having those conversations, keep them respectful and that remember that we are coworkers first. Okay, so to have those conversations if you are going to have them, but to acknowledge that. And then the other thing is to also acknowledge the emotional roller coaster that people are going on around the election. Now, as people face uncertainty, it's important to just acknowledge that uncertainty has a mental and emotional impact on ourselves and our people. And just talk about what are you doing to take care of yourself as this is going on. And that I understand that when those results come out, that some people are going to be ecstatic and other people are going to be devastated. And it's important to say that ahead of time and remind people that, hey, you may be ecstatic about it, but remember some of your coworkers may feel devastated and may be upset about it and may disappear emotionally and mentally for a couple of days afterwards. And I think it's important to acknowledge that up front. And some people aren't going to care, and that's also okay as well. Okay, but to remember that and to acknowledge that impact. And then as a leader, after the election results come out, and it may take a couple days and there's the uncertainty around it, to just check in with people, not to say, how can I make it better? But just to understand that people are on the roller coaster. Hey, how are you feeling right now? What can I do to support you right now? What do you need right now? And to have those conversations when we need to have them. Okay, so a couple things is one, acknowledging that it's going on, acknowledging and reminding people to be respectful for having the conversations, to take those conversations outside the workplace. Remember that there's an emotional roller coaster that ourselves are on and our people are going to be on, and to check in prior to and after the election just to see how people are doing. That can be a short text message. Hey, I'm thinking of you. How are you doing? How are you feeling today? What can I do to support you? And then the last thing that I think is probably one of the most important things we can do right now is we need to double down on human connection. Now, what do I mean by that? When I was facilitating and designing programs, a big part of every program is that when we were having conversations about these difficult subjects, we were always countering those by doing things to build relationships. Now, that may have been going out to go play a game or to go for a hike or just have a meal together where we weren't talking about those subjects. And what this may look like in the workplace is just starting your meeting with a little time for connection before content. Hey, what's something that made you smile recently? Who's somebody who really helped you out on another team? Who's somebody you really appreciate right now? Or what's something that made you laugh? Or what's something you're learning right now? But to get people to take time to connect as humans outside of the conversation of the election. Because when we have those relationships, when we nurture those relationships, when we work together and we have those positive experiences and celebrate our successes together, then we have the relationships where we understand and respect each other as humans. So when this tension does arise, when this division does arise, we have the tools and we have the relationship to be able to navigate it. And if we do some of these things and we do acknowledge what's going on, acknowledge the roller coaster, check in with people, and then double down on building relationships, we may just come out of this election, right, a little less scathed and with stronger relationships than we went into it. I'm Chris Littlefield from Beyond Thank You. If you found this video helpful, please check out some of the other ones on the channel. If you have things that you're doing around the election, share them in the comments below. And if there's specific questions, put them in there and I will try to answer as many as I can. And good luck. And hey, we're all in this together. Take care.